guy get on stage. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm glad he is back. I want you to put your hands together for Pastor Chad. Here he comes, Pastor Chad.
Hey, how about a hand for Stu McAllister, everybody? It's like Dr. House from television. I don't know about that. Hey, it's good to see everybody. You know, it is a small crowd tonight, and since it's a small crowd, I thought I would do something a little different than I usually do with my set. So Stu, if you can bar the doors for a moment, I'd like to share with you a little bit about all the wonderful benefits of Amway, and I'd like to talk with you about that. I'm kidding, no. You know, I almost didn't make it here tonight. I know it's a late hour for some of us, but I almost didn't make it here. I was offering prayer, actually, at an animal rights barbecue, and I almost didn't make it to the building tonight, so I'm glad that I made it here. You know, I was thinking, as I was kind of working through comedic thoughts for this evening, and for the thousands of people that would be gathered here, I thought to myself, you know, what should I talk about? And you know, really, I started thinking about something that I've been wrestling with, honestly, like since I was in the womb, and that is weight. I've always been large, like I've always been a big guy, I've always worn husky jeans, that kind of thing. And so the other day I actually went out and I had to buy a new pair of jeans, and the jeans, mind you, were 40 inches in the waist, and 30 inches in the inseam. 40, 30. I am more than 1 full yard around, people. And what that means is that I can roll down a hill faster than I can run down a hill, is what that means. And it is just not a pretty sight, because I've tried it, like I've timed it, and it's not a pretty sight at all. I've done everything I know to lose weight. I started on the Slim Fast shakes. And my wife walked in the other day. I had a bowl of ice cream, and I had Slim Fast poured over the top of it. It's the only way that I can stomach it, and so it's just pretty tragic. I do have kids. Anybody have kids in the room? Wow. How many of you left your kids at home unattended tonight? Anybody? Okay, yeah, one person. Yeah. You know, I have 3 kids, and I got that book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Anybody know that book? Just by like a round of applause or a sigh. Anybody? Okay. What to Expect When You're Expecting. And on the 6th page, in the 6th chapter, in the 6th paragraph, it says that having 3 kids is like having a bowling alley installed in your brain, is what it is. And I have 3 boys. We have Chase, we have Miles, and we have Jackson, and they're all unique in their own way. We had the first one, Chase. He was born naturally. He came in a natural way. We had no epidural. It was all very beautiful. Angels sang in heaven when he was born. It was very wonderful. Miles, though, we decided we'd read in this book about the beauty of an underwater childbirth and giving birth underwater. Anybody ever give birth underwater? Brian? Anybody? No. We just read about the beauty of this, and we thought it was a great idea, but apparently nobody else at the YMCA had read this book. And because the doctor's just like, push, let's swim around, push, let's swim around. And I was just like, wow, this is great. The lifeguard hated it. It really just hated it terribly. So we do have 3 boys. I love each of them dearly. My wife is at home with them. And I will just offer this as a paid kind of political announcement here. Like, the only reason I'm doing this contest is that Mama needs some new shoes. I'll just tell you right now. And so I need your applause. I am desperate for your applause tonight, and I don't want my kids to starve. And so if you want my kids to starve, don't clap a little bit later tonight. But if you want my kids to, you know, be well fed, then cheer like crazy. Anybody into politics these days? I know politics are a little interesting. Anybody at all? Like 2 of us. Okay. I just read this the other day. A lot of people get very upset with Barack Obama. They say that, you know, he's not helping people at all, and they don't like his wife because she'll go out and say, eat healthy, and then she's like holding up a Big Mac, and everybody gets all upset about this. And I'm not upset, because I actually heard the other day that Michelle Obama, like Barack isn't doing a whole lot with this, I should say President Obama isn't doing a lot with this, but Michelle Obama, she came out with a plan to get America walking again. And it's called gasoline for $4 a gallon, is what it's called. And so I'm all for this. Like, I really have no problem with Michelle offering good solutions to real problems that people have, because I mean we all have problems. I mean there's no doubt about that. You know, the other thing I was thinking about recently, all this campaigning that's been happening. I turned on the TV the other day, and Barack Obama was going door to door. This is how desperate this man had become. He was going door to door looking for votes. I mean, he's literally like knocking door after door after door looking for votes. And Hillary Clinton was out campaigning for him as well, and she was going door to door looking for her husband. And it was just a very interesting thought to me as I considered that. I am a pastor. I want you to know Stu is probably has the poorest attendance and poorest language of anybody that attends our church. But I love Stu. I always tell Stu this, that I want Stu to know that God loves Stu, but then again he loves everybody as well. And so I am a pastor of a church. Our church is called Compass Church. We started it 5 years ago. We started for people who don't like church, because a whole lot of people like Jesus, but they don't like church. And so we said, let's start a church for people who don't like church. How's that for a strategy? And so we started this church, and I always want to make sure I tell people what it means to become a Christian. And I know you're going to be weirded out by this. I don't want to cause any problems. I understand that some of you believe different things, but I want you to just get this. What it means to become a Christian is you bow your head, you say a short prayer, and when you open your eyes, you're a registered Republican with a firearm, is what that means. And so I just want you to be aware of this. It's actually far more involved than that, but I want you to be aware at least of a few things that kind of come along with it. I do, let me just make sure, because I have some things I want to make sure I say. By the way, when a pastor is preaching, a pastor will get to a point in the sermon where they will say, in conclusion. And usually that means they have about 25 minutes left. And so, in conclusion, I have a few more jokes. I know this. I meant to tell you this. I have been on a bad run recently. I started drinking near beer. I started using bad words, darn and darn it. I started being very violent and very angry, and I just said that is it. Like, no more church league softball for me. I can't handle it anymore. Let me see what else I have. You don't want that joke? That's funny. I will not talk about being a tennis instructor. That's funny. Oh, I got to tell you this, and then I got to get out of here. Everybody says Barack Obama's dividing America. Everybody says it. I mean, we all hear it every day. We say, politicians are dividing America. The media is dividing America. And I want you to know, finally, once and for all, who is dividing America. I want you to know the organization that is responsible for the division of our country. John Edwards, many years ago, bless his soul, he runs as a moral guy. Meanwhile, he's cheating on his wife. There's a winner chicken dinner for you. But you want to say, who's dividing America? John Edwards would say, there's two Americas. Who's dividing America? Whose fault is it? Some people say it's Barack Obama's fault. Some people say it was Bill Clinton's fault. A lot of people say George W. Bush's fault. A lot of people, you go all the way back. You can trace it back as far as you want. I'll tell you whose fault it is. It isn't anybody that was ever the president. It isn't anybody. It isn't religion or anything like that. Walmart, people, is dividing America. And they are dividing America between those who have and those who have crap, is what they are doing. They are taking people who have, and then they are taking people who have crap. How crappy a product does it have to be to end up in the clearance bin at Walmart? They have their own brand, people. You go in. I bought some sheets from Walmart. Like, they're made out of steel wool. I took them home. I put them on the bed. Like, the dog went out of the house, left a note on the bed, said, I'm leaving. My butt's chapped. I can't do this anymore. Walked out of the house in an angry fit. Walmart, people. Sam Walton, God rest his soul, is dividing America. And that's my sermon for tonight. And there will be an offering to be had because Mama needs some new shoes. So how about a hand for all the comics that have been, the ones that will be, and for the least appropriate church member I have, Stu McAllister.
Chad. He is right. That church is for people who don't like church, so I don't fucking go. It is succeeding. It is succeeding. I don't go.